Ja Rastafaro. Blessings and wholeness, family. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Akeem Pierre. If you're new, welcome to the vibes. Blessed 2022, y'all. By the time y'all watching this video, y'all already celebrated the new year. We are already in one of the greatest years of our lives, and I congratulate you. Give thanks for myself. We made it another year. Give thanks, celebrating the little things. And today's video is going to be all about planning and how I've planned my years. So it's always like new year, new you, and this is going to be my year. It's going to be the greatest year of my life. But how do you actually do that? And I've personally done that over the last 5 years, where year after year, it's just been growth. It's been improvements in all these different areas of my life, and me coming to become more aligned with myself and more in harmony with myself. And I owe this a lot to this planning routine ritual that I do every year. And this is something that I got from my coach, Nee Sobo, with the Sports Motivation Podcast. I just did it 1 year out in Maldives. And ever since, my life has changed. And I believe that this is possible for anyone to do it. Anyone who really did it with me, their life changed too. So I want to share a little bit with y'all. This is a very much modified version. After I've done it for some years, I've added some things, taken some things, bring some vibes to it. And you know what I mean? Just a little bit, but it's going to be quite straightforward. It's going to mean that you're going to have to dedicate some time and some space to this. So take about 2 hours, hour and a half to just be in a vibe where no one can bother you. So go do that right now, or pause the video and be in a space where no one's going to bother you. Be in a space where you can think creatively, you could go through it and not be distracted. That's gonna be super important. Number one step. And why is this planning so important? I speak about this a lot, but me personally, I wanna focus on generational wealth. I wanna focus on wealth that outlives me. So if I'm only thinking about myself, it's too selfish. So if I'm thinking about generational wealth, and this is not something that I have in my family or I have a blueprint for. So we are really creating that blueprint. And it's going to take for us to be really focused, laser focused, and it's going to take for us to be real with ourselves and look at where we have been, what's been successful, what hasn't been successful, and also some of these things that are beliefs that may be holding us back. A couple of these things that we just need to identify so we can move out of the way. So this planning is gonna go into 3 steps and 3 stages. Step number 1 is the reflection. So before we start to plan what happens, we gotta look at what has happened. So step 1 is reflection. Step 2 is creation. That's where we go into God mode, where we create the life that we want. And then step 3 is the execution. So once we set out to do something, it's already done, but we still gotta execute on it. So step 3 is the execution and how we're actually gonna do that. So those are the 3 super important steps. And without further ado, let's get into it. So step number 1, we're gonna call this a sober estimation of self, a sober estimate of self. And what you're gonna do for this one is you're going to reflect on the last year, and what you're gonna do is look at all the things that kind of bothered you, those things that kind of made you a little bit frustrated, those parts of yourself where you're just like, man, why do you keep doing that? There's certain mindsets that you have. Maybe you are one of those people who's always trying to live for someone else. You can reflect and write that down, where I lived this whole year according to someone else's dream, and it bothers me because I don't give any time to myself. Whatever it may be, take a moment and reflect on what has happened in the past. I said I was going to do this every day and I never did it. I kept this person around even though I knew they were toxic. I was toxic to people. I was not in my best energy. You know what I mean? Different things like that, but just keep it so real with yourself. This is going to be as useful and as powerful as you are real. So the more real you are, it's not about making it seem like things are all perfect. It's not about making it seem like we're all good. This part right here is keeping it real with yourself. What have you done that has bothered you? What's pissing you off? What's frustrating you? I want you to note that and be free with it. The more that we can write out and be real, the better it is going to be for us in these next stages. Because if we identify things that we don't like, we're not happy with, then we're able to identify and say, I don't want to do that no more. Or let's stop. So that's going to be super important step, is the sober estimate of self. How have you done so far? All right, y'all. So take some time to that. Don't hold back. Don't hold back at all. And know this is a judgment-free zone, a guilt-free zone, a shame-free zone. This is not for the purpose of making ourselves feel bad. This is all for the purpose of growth. So all that judgment, let's put that to the side for now. All right, y'all. So part 2 in step number 1 is going to be writing down, you're going to make 3 columns, and it's going to be blessings, lessons, and stressings. So what you're going to do is you're going to make 1 column and write all the blessings from this last year. Write all the blessings. Then in the next column, you're going to write all of the lessons. What did you learn this year? What are those things that you learned? I did a video last week about my top 5 lessons. And then in the third column, you're going to do the stressings. What's stressing you out right now? And you could also look at as a loss, but we don't really like to say losses. These are just things that are currently stressing or things that did stress us out. So when we're talking about blessings, you know, maybe some happened for us. For example, with the retreat, we were able to host 2 retreats during a pandemic, which is like, wow, that's a major blessing. That is, wow. So that was a major blessing. We could look at a bunch of different blessings. This is the first year here in the warehouse. I've got to personally not witness, but hear from so many people who healed this year. So that's a blessing, right? And then the lessons, some of the lessons that I was talking about is consistency is key, is my state is everything. A lesson also is that everything is always working out in my favor. So that's something I learned this year. So take a step back. Don't try to control everything, because everything is working out in my favor. So that's a lesson. Write down all the lessons that you had. And then for the stressing, write it all down. And it may be similar to what you just wrote. So what's stressing you out this year? What's bothering you this year? What is it that you may be doing that you can look as a loss? For example, something for me is we had a lot more plans of going into stores this year and having our brand more in presence in physical spaces, right? That was something we set out to do, and it didn't really get done. Even though we got a smoothie at one of the biggest juice shops in the country, but still, you know, we didn't really do it to the level that I had set out to do. I had a certain goal of the amount of YouTube videos I wanted to do this year. I didn't do it. So these are all gonna be what I'm calling the stressings. You can also look at these as losses or L's, but we don't really deal with no losses. So take a moment and blessings, lessons, and stressings. What's those blessings? What are those lessons? What are those stressings? All right, take your time with each of these steps. There's no rush. You know what I mean? There's no rush. This is going to set the stage for your whole year. So let's take our time with it, y'all. All right. So step 2, now we're going into creator mode or God mode. And that's where we look and we're like, what is it that we want to create? Because we are creators. We know that. We know we can manifest things. But what is it that we want to manifest? So what we're going to do for this one to start off is you're going to get into the creative mind. You're going to get into that state, that space, that imagination is running free, where you don't really notice too many limitations. And this, you could go listen to a meditation. You can go watch a meditation or listen to one on Insight Timer if you have Headspace. If you got some of these apps, go into a meditation where after the meditation, you feel abundant. You feel without those barriers. You don't feel all the day-to-day holding you down, right? So what we're going to do is get into that mindset. This is going to be super important. Get into that creative mindset where you can allow yourself to envision. And what we're going to be doing is you're going to picture yourself December 31st, 2022. And you're going to write down, what have you done this year? Where are you? Who are you with? You're going to create a story about where you are going to be next year. And you're going to look back And you're gonna think about all the things you accomplished, all the people who helped you on the way, all the hardships and the challenges that you overcame. And you're gonna look at that and you're just gonna write creatively. It's next year, December 31st, 2022. And you look back, what have you done? Who's around you? Where are you? Are you in the Caribbean? Me personally, I'm gonna be in the Caribbean and I'm gonna be with some family in the Caribbean. And we're gonna be enjoying it. These last couple of years, I haven't really been able to be with my family during Christmas. So this Christmas, 2022, I'm gonna be with my family. And we're gonna be celebrating in a nice villa. It's gonna be a nice epic scene. My family, they're not the most natural, so they're gonna have their more luxury suites. You know, it's gonna be a time where I helped to actually make this happen. So I paid for everyone to come out here. And here, boom, my sister's here, my brother's here, my grandma, aunt, my mom is here, my sister. Oh, she's actually working with us now. And so like, we just create a vision of it. And what you're gonna do is write that story however you want your year to go, whatever that's gonna be. Imagine it's December 31st. What have you done? What have you accomplished? I had 3 legendary retreats, you know, and just write it down like that, whatever it is that you do. Maybe it's, I'm just launched my product and we had a successful product launch. You know what I mean? So just create that for yourself. And then part 2 of that, what you're gonna do is this is where we're gonna create our goals. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna write your top 5 goals. So if you could have anything come true for you in this year, what is that gonna be? What will that be? And it doesn't have to be those SMART goals, those way that they set that framework. Let's make these goals more emotional. Something that's gonna charge you up. Something that's gonna get you excited. It's gotta be emotionally charged. So create a couple different goals. They can be the emotional goals. Like it really could be like, who's to say that you can't have a goal that says that I'm gonna feel in my highest vibration for 80% of the time, or I'm gonna live most of my life in my highest vibration. That could be one of the goals, depending on what excites you. Because some of us, that's gonna be an exciting goal. Some of us is gonna be more numbers based. I wanna launch my product and have this many in sales this year. It could be, I wanna integrate my family coming together so we live a more holistic lifestyle. Whatever it may be, I want you to list 5 different goals and take that limitation off right now too. Don't think how yet. We're not in the how stage yet. Don't think how. Just create. What are those top 5 goals? In my last couple years, my top 5 goals, I've maybe made 2 out of the 5 in my goals. But the fact that I'm aiming for these big goals that were of these 5, that I still made so much progress. And I'm not mad at myself for not making the goals. It's not like if I don't make the goals, there's any kind of repercussions. You know what I mean? It's not like if I don't make it, then it's anything. No, we set our standards high and that's what we're going for. And if we end up a little bit lower, we're still gonna be good because that's how high we set our goals and our standard. So I want y'all to be real open with this. Don't think about how. Don't think, well, I couldn't do that in the past. What makes me think I can do it now? Let's leave that to the side and just think of your top 5. This past year, I had a revenue number goal. I had amount of YouTube videos goal. I had how consistent I am with my planning and my scheduling goal. So those are a couple of the different goals that I had when it comes to mine. So there you go. Just from there, boom. Create those 5 and then pick your number 1 goal. So out of those 5, you're gonna pick your number 1. If you could only hit one of those goals, make one of those goals happen, what would it be? Or another way to look at it, if you were to make one of these goals happen, which of those goals is gonna make the rest of those other goals easy? So of the one goal that you make happen, what's gonna make the rest easy after you've done this one? All right, so pick one main goal and that's gonna be the one that you really focus on and look at, but we do have 5. All right, y'all. So now we're in the execution phase. Step 3, execution. And this phase, it gets so much more in depth and in tune than this. So this right here is a year planning. So I do year planning, I do quarterly planning, then I do month planning, I do weekly planning, then I do daily planning. So this is the big year goal. And this is just a little part of it because we still want to do our quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily planning. But I will say that when I've done this in the past, what happened is I may have not even looked at this much the whole year. But what happened is I wrote it down, I set that intention, I put it out there, and I still accomplished it. So sometimes just putting it out there is enough because you align yourself and you make it known if this is what I want. So it's easier to make something happen when this is what you want. But this phase right here, we're gonna break down a little bit of how we're gonna execute on this. All right, so what you could do, what I would suggest is you do this for every single one of those goals that we listed down. So all 5, you can do this for every single one of those goals, or you could just do it for your one power goal. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a couple columns and you're gonna start to break down a big goal into sub goals, right? So of this big goal that you have, what are some of the smaller goals that you're going to hit along the way? For example, if I have a number, I wanted to post 100 YouTube videos this year. So that means by March, I need to have 25 videos posted. By June, I need to have 50. By September, I need 75. So those are sub goals, right? Maybe in the sub goals, I have a structure for creating my videos. Maybe in the sub goals is I want a new camera. Maybe in the sub goals, it is create an easy series that I could make like quick videos on. You know, whatever it may be, whatever is going to help you get to that main goal, create it as sub goals. If it's a product launch, I want to launch a product. Okay, have you looked at your branding? Do you have packaging? Have you created your website? Are you going to start off with a team? How are you going to ship? There's so many different sub goals that you can look at. So take that one main goal and then break it down into all these different sub goals. All right. And then the next one is going to be power moves. So when I think of power moves, I think of that big move that you can make that it's going to make a huge shift in your life. And it's going to be something that when you do this, it may not guarantee you a result, but at least in your brain, you're gonna be like, I'm committed. So after you do this move, you're gonna say to yourself, I'm committed. So a great example of what I have for this is when I wanted to launch a product, right? One of my power moves was go to St. Lucia and meet Honorable Priest Kailash at MKRC. And that's a power move because I traveled to a whole nother country. I didn't have anything really set up yet, but it was me committed. I'm committed to making this happen. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know if I was even gonna meet him officially. So it was just me taking a little risk, and that's a power move. Sometimes it's like if you have a fitness goal, for example, a power move could be getting a year's gym membership. So you just commit. You commit to something where it's like, if I do this, it shows that I'm committed at a high level. And I'm just not doing it at that same basic level. So if you've tried this goal in the past and you haven't done it, what can you do that's gonna be like, oh, I didn't even do that last time I tried this. So this is different. So that's how we're gonna kind of shift your mind into thinking. And the next one we're gonna look at is gonna be the key habits that you have to learn or that you need in order for this to happen. So when it comes to key habits, it may not be specifically only for one goal, because a key habit is a rising ritual or a morning routine. And that's a key habit for so many different of our goals. Could be for a fitness goal, could be for a business goal. It could be for just a time management goal. So key habits don't necessarily need to be one goal. There can be a lot of overlap, but just think of what are the key habits that you need to have in order for you to be successful. For me, some of them, daily planning. I need to plan my day every day. Meditation is one. Journaling is another one. Rising and resting rituals, morning and evening routines. Those are a couple of those habits that I need to have. So those are key habits that are gonna help me execute this goal. So next up, what we're gonna look at is the study guide. So what do you need to learn in order for you to make this goal happen? What is it that you need to learn? Because when we set out to make this happen, we set out to these goals, sometimes we don't think about what books can I read that is gonna make this easier? What YouTube channels can I watch? Can I follow to make this easier? Are there any mentors out there that I know that I can get in tune with? Are there any podcasts that I can listen to that's gonna help me on this? If you have a financial goal and you wanna become a wise investor, maybe one of your study curriculum is let's watch Earn Your Leisure. I'm gonna follow Wall Street Trapper on YouTube and I'm gonna watch all of his videos this year. You know, these are just ways that we're putting together a study curriculum. So when you set out in a course for school, they have a goal of you of learning a certain learning objectives. And what they do is they set you out with study guide. So we need to do that for ourselves. What are we gonna learn this year in order for you to reach your goals? Have a look, research some books. What books do I need to learn on fitness, on creating habits, on being in a better state, better energy, better vibration, business books, anyone I could talk to. Sometimes your learning curriculum is just weekly meetings with someone who's very intelligent. So you may know a friend who's already in the thing that you like. Maybe you just have that as a learning curriculum. I'm gonna set up every 2 weeks, I'm gonna go to take them for lunch. And that's gonna be part of my learning curriculum. So be creative. Be creative with this learning curriculum, but just know that's so important. That is super important. And it's gonna make the journey that much easier because a lot of what we're doing has already been done. So why do we wanna start off from square one? Ooh, hit him with the rhymes on that one. I give thanks. So, boom, study guide. Have a look at that. And this can be something that you consistently add to. As you learn new things and you learn about a new podcast, you learn about this, then you learn. Sometimes you don't even know what you need to know. So this can be continually added to. The next one is environmental changes. What do you need to change in your environment for you to accomplish that goal? What do you need to change in your environment for you to accomplish that goal? What people do you need to get out of your life for you to accomplish that goal? What people do you need to get into your life, in your home environment? How do you need to change your home environment? What about on your computer, right? What do you need to change on your computer? Some of us, when we open our computer, we're just distracted because of our desktop. Some of us, when we go to our computer, we can't even do work because our hard drive is so full. That is just like in your home, having no storage space in a closet. Clean it up. Make it easier for yourself. So think to yourself, what environmental changes am I going to make? And don't think you're doing a bad thing by telling someone, or not by telling, because you don't need to tell them, by saying, I need to get this person out of my life. This is just for you to accomplish these goals. It's not to say they're a bad person, not to say you can never speak to them again, but just know, hey, if you want to make this happen, that person ain't helping you, then just see you later. I'll talk to you soon. Maybe by Thanksgiving, I've already accomplished my goals and I fortified myself so I could have you back around. So don't feel any kind of way by separating yourself. It's actually going to be super essential and needed. So think about your environment. What shifts do you need to make in your environment? And make them, and it's gonna be epic, y'all. This is one of my favorite parts. Create your environment. Who do you want around you? It's not being rude. It's not being harsh. You have things you want to accomplish and don't let nothing get in your way. Super key. All right, so part 2 of step 3 is what do you need to believe in order for this to be possible? Because like my teacher Nee says, beliefs lead to emotions, which lead to actions, which lead to results. So if we only look at our actions and our results, it's going to be hard to change because the beliefs are what causes those actions and those results. So we got to look at our beliefs. Do you believe you are worthy of this goal? Do you believe you have the discipline to make this goal happen? Do you believe that you're going to do right by the money as it comes in? Because some of us, we have a problem with money. I used to have a problem with money because I didn't believe money was something good. I thought it was evil. So I had to shift that in my consciousness and to think of money as something that is beneficial. Money is something that I need to make impact in this life, and something that I need to carry this generational wealth into the next generation. This is how we look at currency and value, is by money. So I need to shift my beliefs. So what we're gonna do is shift our beliefs. Look at the beliefs that you need to have in order for you to make this possible. And some of these beliefs, like I'm a powerful creator. Anything I think about, I manifest. Nothing can stop me from executing on what I want. I learn fast. Like these are all different examples of beliefs that you have. So when you're sitting down and you're trying to learn something and you find this a little bit hard, you're having a little hard time, what do you tell yourself? I'm a fast learner. I learn fast. And then you're gonna, when you come here, it's like, I'm a fast learner. What do you mean? I ain't got no problem with this. I'm a fast learner. And then you're gonna actually learn that faster because you're gonna affirm this to yourself and you're gonna get out of your own way. All right? When I run into obstacles, I may slow down, but I never stop. So when something comes into your life and you slow down a little bit, you're like, yeah, I may slow down, but I'm gonna never stop. I'm gonna never stop. So these are just beliefs. What beliefs do you need to have in order for you to execute on these goals? And you see how when we do this stuff, it's not just affecting your goals, it's changing your whole life. This is setting up your whole life to be legendary. This is just the foundations of a legendary life. Because a lot of us have beliefs that go unchecked, right? And we go from believing to be living. So we have these beliefs that we start be living. So if we start to believe that we are not worthy, then that's what we start to be live. So we live a life where we're not worthy and we self-sabotage. And we have no more time for that. None, near nada, nothing. So let's work on these beliefs. Let's write these beliefs down. What do I need to believe to make this happen? And once we move from that, we're gonna have these beliefs as something that we can look at throughout the whole year. These are something like affirmations as well. I am a powerful creator. And these are things that you could repeat to yourself to help it come forward whenever you're going through those hard times, whenever you just need a reminder or a refresher. And then part 3 of step 3 is going to be, what can you do right now? So before this video ends, pause the video and go do something towards your goal right now. Right now. So for me, what happened is I could email somebody and I could start boom, 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 send the email right away. And that already started my plan of action. So think, what goals or what steps can you take right now? If it's about a gym, maybe you call the gym and you book an appointment to go in there for your membership. If it's with a product, maybe you call the supplier. Maybe you start your Shopify website. But think about something you can do right now. And it's gonna take a couple minutes. It's not something that's gonna take you years. You just wanna get started. Moment to moment to moment to moment to moment to momentum. Momentum, powerful. Let's utilize momentum as our best friend. That's gonna help us create anything we want. So let's utilize that and think, what can I do right now? Take action right now. And then the last thing we're going to do before we wrap up for this 2022 planning is we're gonna go return to creator mode. We're gonna return to that vibe. So put on a meditation, maybe put on some music and just dance and vibe and just unlock the mind. So we're not thinking in the hows anymore. We're not thinking in limitation. We're thinking in abundance. We're thinking in imagination. And I want y'all to put yourself in December 31st, 2022, and I want you to write down gratitude list for the year. What are you grateful for this year? It's 2022 December. What are you grateful for? You've accomplished all this. You've leveled up. You've connected with all these different people. You've came together with all these beautiful souls. What are you grateful for? Who are you grateful for? Start to write those blessings and prepare for next year's planning. You're gonna look back, I give thanks for Mom Dukes. She shows up always when I need her. And when I was feeling down that one time, she called me and she rose me up and helped me return to my path. Whatever it may be, get into that creator mode. Think about certain things that may hinder you, may get in your way, and how do you maneuver through those? You know? Think about that. And just have fun with this stage. What are you grateful for? 2022, you've executed potently on your goals. You had one of the most potent years of your life. What are you grateful for? And let's get into that state and that phase of vibration of love and gratitude. And let's let that be known to those around us. And this is that energy we're gonna end off here. And this is the energy we're gonna finish, or we're gonna start our life with. So we're gonna move through life with gratitude. All right, y'all, so give thanks for this planning. We do plan on having a PDF for you, so you can look below in the description and you'll be able to click and download that. It's super simple though. You can just put the titles, you can just write it on any piece of paper. Some of us like actually using our own pad and a pen, so you can do it like that. Super simple. Don't think too much about it, just do it. And the main thing I'm gonna say is allow yourself to be free. Allow yourself for this process to remove all limitations. What is it that you want? When you dream at night, when you think, oh, that would be amazing. What is that? When you think, sometimes you think, I don't even know if that'd be possible. That's what you want to connect with. That's the stuff you want to tune in with. Let's push what we believe is possible, and let's really take it to the next level for ourselves, for our families, and for those that are going to come after us, right? Those who care prepare. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. I believe in those wholeheartedly. So this is something that is dear to my heart. This is something that changed my life and is changing the life of many around me. And I want to share with y'all. So I'm grateful that I was able to come forward and share this with y'all, as I've been doing this for about 5 years now. And I look forward to y'all making these changes and these shifts and these enhancements in your life. And know that it's never too late. If you watch this in January, February, March, it doesn't matter when you watch this, you can start your planning. It's never too late to plan. So just give yourself that time, give yourself that moment, get in tune with what you really want, and allow that to come forward. All right, y'all, give thanks for tuning in. This is about to be a legendary 2022. I know that for a fact. How do I know that? Because that's what we're going to create. And y'all with me on this one. So I'm sending y'all love and balance. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Ja! Rastafaro. Woo!